I think this is one of the biggest questions that I'd like to help you, and I think this is where people that sat down there and listening to you talk is how and who do you think this book will help?
Okay, so the book essentially will help, first and foremost, anybody that is willing to help themselves be a better version of themselves. It will not help anybody that is...
I want to stop you there.
Go on.
I want to say that slowly and loudly, because I think that it's important that you get that message across.
So all help is self-help. So if you're not in the position to help yourself, then nothing's going to happen. There's no change. Nobody outside of you can make your life better. You are solely responsible for that. So the idea behind this is, if you are willing to take responsibility and take your power back and move towards that, then this book will help you. So essentially, this book, what I like to give you an analogy is like a set of chisels. And different type, a whole range of chisels in your toolbox, and you could create anything out of this. You could create a table, you could create a cabinet, or you could create a beautiful statue. The point is how you apply and utilize those chisels. And essentially, this book is a tool set of chisels. It's a bunch of tools that you can use to create your own outcome. There is not a defined outcome as such. It's leading you towards your own defined outcome. You dictate what it is that you want. I'm just giving you the tools. Okay? There is no fixed mantra for anybody. You have to find your own path. And your own path, if you've got the set of tools, you can create it. Right? Chisel your own path, essentially. So who does it boil down to? Which kind of people will be interested in this? So first and foremost, it's called the art of martial mind power. So straight away people think, it's for martial artists. Well, it's using the martial mindset. So that means there's a lot of people that are intrigued and interested in martial arts and the martial mindset, but not necessarily going out kicking and punching in dojo, right? Or in the ring or wherever their outlet is. So as well as the martial artists, it's for the non-martial artists, and we're looking at what I call the couch martial artists. These are the martial artists that like to sit in front of a TV and watch a martial arts movie or an action movie, right? And
I'll stop you there. That's me. I'll tell you that. That's me. I watch so many martial arts movies. It's incredibly ridiculous. But go on, I'll just digress. Go on.
Andrew's very humble, actually. He does know martial arts. He's practiced martial arts, and he keeps that under his belt. Sorry, I had to let that cut out. But so people need to know that, actually, that in order to write from that place, he knows what he's talking about because he's done it and doing it. But coming back to answer the rest of that question is apart from the couch martial artists, and that doesn't mean you're a couch potato. It just means that you like the martial movement, the martial entertainment, and it could be the martial mindset. That martial mindset also lends itself and links itself in with self-helpers, people that want to be a better version of themselves. Okay, so people talk about personal development. So if you're in personal development, this must be something wrong with you. Of course not, right? You just want to refine the person that you are. One of my mentors, Suzuki, hopefully he'll be arriving here shortly if he's not already in the crowd. But he said to me, personal development is taking your sword that you already are, just sharpening it, and that's essentially all you're doing. And this book will allow you to sharpen your sword if you're on that journey. It will help, and I've done quite a bit of work in this space around troubled youth. Now, troubled youth tend not to like classroom-based work where they're confined and restricted and regimented. They tend to work with movement, and the book works with movement, so it's a perfect conduit for that. Okay, we're also looking at corporations. So corporations, I've worked on Wall Street and in the city for 21 years now, and it's intense. It's high pressure, and corporations need to take responsibility, and I mean real responsibility for the employees to bring the best out of the employees. And how do you cultivate that? But you've got to cultivate that through knowing. And there's a lot of programs out there, corporate programs for employees and so on, on their personal development plans and so on, which actually is not getting the best out of people. People are just now doing them because it's a chore and you have to. But what if they actually did something that brought something, the essence of that person out, where they actually wanted to wake up early to go there and didn't mind staying late, right? Where they gave more of themselves without feeling like they're killing themselves. So I think corporations need to really have a serious look at a model like this, and we're working with some large corporations, some tier 1 investment banks and some financial institutes in the city of London here that are adopting this program and already working with me. And then finally, it's about anybody that wants to connect to themselves. Anybody that's realized that there's something inside them that they're not connected with, they feel a sense of loss, feel lost in the world. Ask that question: what is the meaning of life? Well, you're not going to find it if you're not looking inwards. Because the answer's not outside. And I really do believe that people, when they go to work, they feel overwhelmed. And the only way for them to come back to themselves is when they escape to nature and be on their own. And it might happen during your midlife reflection, or it might happen sooner than that. Sooner is better. And I really believe that, the kind of audiences that I've mentioned already are maybe the mature audience, but actually this is something that kids should be taught right from the beginning. It should be something that's programmed into them right from the beginning, so that they are masters. I mean, they are our future. They are going to carry on our, what we've laid down, and the kind of decisions that we've made. I mean, if you look at just like what's happening to Mother Earth and what humankind has done in terms of, you look at the Amazon, how much deforestation is going on, you look at fracking and so on. Humans have lost the plot, especially in the West, and in pursuit of oil, money, power, and controlling other people. You don't need to control anybody. You only need to control yourself. The people making those decisions haven't got control over their own mind. They want to control other people. So you end up in this situation where actually you need to come into yourself, and that's where you find your true power, and that's where you actually realize and accept that everything that's going on around you is just part of nature's dance.
What did you find the most difficult about writing the book?
The editing process, to be honest. So the reason I say that is writing each of the chapters, I'll be honest with you, took me about less than 2 weeks, in some cases 2 days, and it was so fluid when it was written. It just happened. But I've written it in such a way that there's a lot of embedded learning. There's a lot of when I say the book's been engineered, it really has. So I've used a lot of hypnotic language in there, a lot of suggestions in there, embedded learnings in there. So when you read it, it doesn't read like a novel. So when I gave it to the editors at the publishing company, they kept throwing it back at me and saying, "Oh, this sentence doesn't read right. We think you should replace it with this." So basically, they wanted to rewrite the whole book, and initially I was really frustrated, and I thought, whoa, I've just really used this whole science of writing has gone into this book, and this publishing company, the editors, haven't got a clue about that kind of writing style, and they literally are reverse engineering the whole thing, so it will not work. But then I realized, if they're picking it up, then it's working, because they're not using that mindset, and it was the best validation for me. But it probably took me 5 times longer. I'm not joking. It was a long-winded process. So the whole editing process probably took a good 9 to 10 months. Just that. So you've got a book that's written, and you know that that's what you want to go out, and you're happy with it, and then it comes back and it's like, no, you need to rewrite it. So that was challenging. That was the hardest part. The actual content just came through me. It didn't take any work at all. It just felt like it just happened.